Well, welcome to our spring instrumental concert. This is our spring band orchestra concert. We're going to start with our flute ensemble, and I think we have Julia Velarde who would like to introduce this ensemble, and then we'll get started.
Hi everyone, my name is Julia. I'm Ella. We started this book choir this year. We started it in November. I just wanted to say a couple of words. All these people just kind of decided to show up. We were not expecting this many, but it has been absolutely amazing. Today we wanted to play a piece for you that was written for this ensemble by Beth Novak, who graduated from here a couple years ago. It's called Exclusion Zone. I hope you guys see it.
Our next piece is called Voices in the Shadows. I know I'm going to forget to say something about it, so I wrote some notes down. This came up, the composer of this piece was intrigued with the idea that sometimes you just hear something and you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know who or where or what, but sometimes you can just hear something and you're wondering where that voice is coming from. So that was the initial idea. But it's actually a really cool concept musically. So it explores the idea of a single pitch, in this case the note G. You might be like, oh, I don't know anything about music, but this, just follow with me here. And all of my music theory students now, you gotta focus here. So this note G that sounds for the entire work, it literally starts with the first violins and goes all the way until the final release. And it takes on various roles throughout the whole piece. So when it's in G major or G minor, it's the tonic, it's home, it's where, it's that big main note. But sometimes, in other moments, it's obscured in complex harmonies. So even if it's a tiny little part of the key that we're in, it still plays a really important harmonic role. So I challenge you to listen for that note G all throughout and see all different ways that it can be harmonized. And I hope you enjoy Voices in the Shadows. festival this year and played grade 6, which is the highest level they can play, and received perfect score. Extremely proud of them. We really, I didn't even know that I challenged them with some really challenging music. That's redundant, I guess. But, and they were like, bring it on, let's do it. And they just soaked up all the feedback that they got, and it was just so impressive and so exciting to watch, and I couldn't be prouder. So we're going to end our part of tonight's performance with Tribal Warfare, which is one of the pieces that we played at this year's Orchestra Festival.
Introduction. Okay, hi everyone. Good evening. My name is Beth.
My name is Misha.
Can you guys hear us fine? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Fullerton, for very flattering words, but we'd like to take a moment to flatter you. We are extremely appreciative of everything you have done for us, especially as a senior class, on behalf of all of us, for the orchestra. We really feel a lot of gratitude for how you supported us all throughout our high school career. We first got to work with Ms. Fullerton in our freshman year during the virtual school year we had during COVID, and Ms. Fullerton did an amazing job at helping us maintain our passions for music, and she made the virtual school year as interesting as it possibly could be.
And since then, she's pushed us out of our comfort zones by assigning us challenging, fun repertoire and putting up with our very ridiculous requests for extra free time every single class. She's always taken us seriously and listened to us, and we are so grateful to have her.
And we'd like to present you with a few small tokens of our gratitude. We have all the senior class. Here's John, Lily.
On a screen, and Mr. Heist and I were blown away at the fact that they had their cameras on, they were participating, they were engaged, they were having fun, and they were always looking for extra opportunities in orchestra and in band, and it was amazing. And they're still like that today. When they have downtime, they're interacting with each other, and they're getting more involved, and we're just so lucky and so blessed to have them. We started, like I said, we were virtual, and we were really, really fortunate. We just couldn't even believe that we could have a concert that May or June, I think it was, out on the stadium turf with masks on, 6 feet apart. And for some of us, like for most of them, that was the first day I ever met them in person after teaching them for an entire year. And now I can't imagine life without them. So thank you, especially to the seniors. There are no words, but we appreciate every minute that you've been here, and we are so proud of who you've become, who you've always been. It's not even who you've grown to be. You've been like that from the first day, and I know you're going to go on to do amazing things.
Yeah, how about another round of applause for that amazing string? We had to move a couple percussion things because we had, like, I don't know if you saw the army of basses that we had back there. So we had to move some percussion stuff out of the way. So it's a good problem to have. Anyhow, what you see on stage is our concert band. This group went to festival what was that, February, I think. We got superior ratings, which we're really excited about. We're going to do a new piece that we just learned over the last few weeks and one of our festival pieces. So the first piece is called Evergreen Escapades. It's a newer work by Adrian, who's a young composer. He just grew up not too far from here at Catonsville High School. He's at the University of Texas getting his master's degree. He's only 21 years old, and we're excited to play one of his pieces. So we hope you enjoy these two works, and here's our Broadneck concert band. piece we're going to play with our wind ensemble is a really standard piece in the band literature. It's considered one of the more difficult pieces. I think in the state of Maryland, it's listed as grade 6, so if you know anything about music, it's more towards the technically and musically demanding piece, and you'll see why if you don't know this piece. This was actually written, I don't know the exact year, it was in the early 60s. It was actually paid for by the Ford Foundation, so that's kind of a little bit of history. They paid for some composers during that time to go out and immerse themselves in high schools throughout the country, so they picked some of the top programs throughout the country, and they went and wrote pieces for a band. Because up until that point, there weren't a lot of band pieces. Most things were, the only band-type specific pieces here in the US were mostly like Sousa-type marches or transcriptions of orchestra stuff. And there's nothing wrong with transcriptions of orchestra stuff or Sousa marches, but we needed some new work to work on in music education. So this piece is one of the most famous ones that came out of that time period. It's by composer John Barnes Chance, who wrote a lot of music for band as well. So we hope you enjoy Incantation and Dance. All right, so we're going to switch gears a little bit from one of the more rhythmic and technically challenging pieces in our literature to something that's much more solemn and musical. So one of the students suggested doing this piece, and I was like, yeah, I actually think that probably would work really well with our ensemble. And the more I was kind of doing some research and reading through the piece again, I hadn't conducted it in a while, I realized that this week was the 25th anniversary of the reason why this piece was written. And that was, this Saturday would be 25 years since the Columbine shooting in Colorado. And growing up during that, as many of us did, that was obviously very, very shocking. And to have 12 students, I think it was, one teacher, and then the two shooters who committed suicide. To have something that tragic it was everywhere, and it was like the entire country felt that. And it's unfortunate that it seems like that was just the first of many tragedies such as that. And so this piece was directly written for that piece. Columbine High School didn't have an alma mater, and they commissioned Frank Ticheli to write one, and then he took it a step further and wrote an elegy to honor those 15 people who lost their lives in that tragic event, and also all of, I think it was 20-some people who were injured during that. So we would like to honor, do this piece tonight in honor of all of those people. And it's one of the most moving and emotional pieces, I think, that's ever been written for the band repertoire. And it has a beautiful trumpet solo to honor those lives lost that you'll hear by Phia, our amazing senior trumpet player, will be playing that. So we really want you to just enjoy the music that the students are doing, but reflect on this just horrible tragedy in the United States and honor those who lost their lives in that shooting. First of all, thank you to, I know I speak to Mrs. Fullerton when I say this, thank you to all of the parents, anybody who's had a part in the music education of your students, taking them to lessons, running out to music and arts to buy reads, taking them to middle school morning rehearsals, all of those important things to help us be able to do what we do here. And we know this is a longer concert, but we really wanted to show off so much of the hard work that these students have been doing this year. So I hope you agree that it's worth it, and the level of dedication and talent that we are constantly able to work with is astounding. And I know that Mrs. Fullerton and I are very grateful to walk in here every single day to get the chance to work with your students. So thank you very much. So to all the students, can you please give a big round of applause to your parents? One of the things that's so very special about not just this community, but especially the music department, and I've been here now for a long time, and it's flown by, but is just the amount of kind of family and community atmosphere that we have amongst the students. I mean, many students you see tonight are playing in multiple ensembles. I don't know who gets the record, probably Colin or somebody, for in most ensembles tonight. But the amount of, and just the camaraderie and working together and teamwork and that goes on behind the scenes here, I'm very, very grateful and blessed to be a part of that and have been for the last 20 plus years. A couple people I just want to recognize who really helped create that. I've been very fortunate to work with amazing music teachers, but there is no one that can compare to Miss Molly Fullerton. So can we just Sure, I'll hear about that tomorrow. But no, seriously, I love working with you. It's the best. It's the best every single day. So thank you. Today was an extremely. I don't like to use the word stressful because I think there's just a lot of stuff going on. Today, many of you guys know we leave tomorrow for our percussion ensemble trip. If you got a chance to see them today, they are amazing, and it's a joy to work with them. But I was very scattered in last minute things for that. She took care of the program. She did just an amazing slideshow for things. Everything that was just done, and I am eternally grateful for those types of things. And she's just a lot of fun to work with every single day. So another person that I would just be remiss, just briefly, and I'm not going to give him the microphone so that we're not here until 10:30. But that's Mr. Rob Stojakovic. Where's Rob? Is he here? Rob's a dear friend, and I've learned so much from him over the years. He is responsible for so much of what you see here this evening. Whether the students worked with him in the Maggie program, in North Bay, CYSO, just happened to be walking through the Cape and he tunes their cello or whatever the case may be. Rob is everywhere in music in this, and we will miss you every single day that I want to just text you and find out what's going on down at Maggie, but you have had an amazing career, and I don't know if you realize how much you not only impacted these students, but impacted people like myself and Mrs. Fullerton and Sandy and Val, all the people over the years here at Broadneck. So thank you, Rob, from the bottom of my heart. All right, there might be another quick announcement later, but right now we're just going to play these last two pieces for you, and then we have a very special treat with our seniors. So we hope you enjoy Voices in the Sky, and then we're going to end with a Star Wars march. So, did you want to introduce this one, or do you want? Awesome. So we have Mr. Wood here.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah! So you talked about teamwork earlier and how much teamwork it takes. But I don't know if the team would have come together without such amazing leadership as you, Mr. Heist. So why don't we all give Mr. Heist a great... So burnt out. I think my fellow seniors can agree that it was just so difficult coming back by instrument out of that. But even over virtual, you still made it very fun and exciting to pick that up. Even if that video shall be shamed forever. But I was excited to go back my sophomore year and work with you. And all my seniors would agree. So we put together a little gift for you, and I think my friends would like to.
We made a little compilation of quotes that Mr. Heist said in our presence. We advise you to not read them out loud. But yeah, enjoy. They're awesome.
With this senior class, as they just alluded to, freshman year, they were on computer screens with us, and if you remember back, the first time that Mrs. Fullerton and I met many of our students in person was on the football field on June 17th, and was that 2021, and I know Rob was here, he helped us put that together. We did a joint concert at the middle school that was the precursor to our movie night. And we wanted to kind of just take the students back to that. So our seniors are going to actually play one of the pieces we did on that football field back in 2021. And Mrs. Fullerton put an amazing slideshow together of some pictures. So we hope you enjoy, what are we doing? Celtic Air and Dance, right? So.
Thank you.